Between the ages of 21 and 40, there are only 52 million women in the United States, which means that 3% of women that you meet are on OF now. 3%. That means 1 out of every 30 women you meet. Like, just so think of all the women you find like horribly unattractive, cast them out, and the number becomes like 10, 15% of women you know are on OF. It's crazy.
See, what happens is guys who don't fuck are usually the guys who are like the more possessive ones, because they get into a relationship with a very beautiful woman and they know that on some level they're batting out of their league, right? So that's where that possessiveness comes into play. Is the guys who are in a state of sexual deficit are the ones who become the most possessive. And so how do they do that? It's through controlling mechanisms like giving you everything.
I wish you would break up with me. I wish you would.
Exactly.
I'll be out here and you snap me outside so quick. Are you kidding me? I'm so sad. I'm on stage.
It's guys who aren't used to being with beautiful women. It's guys who aren't used to actually having like a sexual abundance, who tend to go, well, this is the hottest girl I've ever had, and so I better cling like onto this chick here. And how do I do that? Well, I'm going to do that by being controlling.
Mate guarding.
Mate guarding.
Jealousy.
Yes, very much so.
Remember what I said about high status men and low status men? Low status men will take anything you give them. Anything. Girl, she's like got 6 boyfriends and 2 sugar daddies, and he stays at home and takes care of the kid and walks the dog. There's a bottom third of men that are so desperate. Guys, there's one dude who gave $4.3 million. Charlie, was that his name? Something like that. Like, you understand how hard up some dudes are? It's really difficult for people to understand. Garrett?
$4.3 million for what? For
just a subscriber on OnlyFans. Kept tipping her.
Yeah.
In a year, $4.3 million.
Did he fuck her?
No.
He just
never even met her.
She never even met him.
That's crazy.
For $4.3 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
The desperation factor is very high.
Correct, but I want you to
Not to
consider.
mention, she made $50 million in 1 year.
Yes. The guys who you're talking about who get divorced, they're not going to date Sophie Rain. But Sophie Rain creates a downstream effect.
Yeah.
You understand? Guys, you ready? Ready for the craziest stat? I've been waiting to say this one for a while. Ready? There are 1.4 million female content creators on OnlyFans.
No.
Right now.
No way.
Hold on. Between the ages
better.
of 21 and 40, there are only 52 million women in the United States, which means that 3% of women that you meet are on OF now. 3%. That means 1 out of every 30 women you meet. Like, just so think of all the women you find like horribly unattractive, cast them out, and the number becomes like 10, 15% of women you know are on OF. It's crazy. And so, do you see what I mean though? The downstream ramifications.
It's bad.
Because she made 43 million, the next girl can make less. The next girl can make less, and the next girl is like, hey, I just want to be independent from my man. And so now what it does is it takes some women. Like, again, if you're posting bikini shots or whatever on OF, I don't have an issue with that. I could date a girl who does that. What I could not date is a girl who's doing guy-girl content with another man. I could never do that. But what's happened is a lot of girls are now doing that who normally wouldn't have done that before. They're like literally in group chats looking for collabs with new guys to film with so they can make more money. And that didn't exist before.
If you're in a serious relationship with a guy, no offense to anyone that does this, but why are you still doing OnlyFans? Why are you still...
There you go.
Like, I just don't understand why you would still be doing that if you're in a serious relationship. I get it if, like, that's your main source of income, but a lot of guys have said this. What guy would want something that every other guy can have or see?
So let's say this. If a girl's making I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. If a girl's making a ton of money on OF, it's really hard if a girl's making 20, 30, 40, 50 a month on OF and you're just telling her to stop. I get it. I still think she should stop, but I understand where you're coming from. So, like, that's part of the issue. The other thing is this. I hear when girls or guys say this is like, no self-respecting man is going to want to be where the girl has OF. That's not true. That's not true at all. Go ahead, Maritza. You want to go ahead?
Well, I was just going to say that there's some couples that they do it together. That means that they're like having multiple partners.
Yeah.
And like they're not physically with somebody else.
Yeah.
Who are the girls here on OnlyFans? So, question for you. In the game, what is it that drives you more, the money or the attention? At some level, because entrepreneurs are driven by money and they're driven by attention, and it's an entrepreneurial endeavor. Like, which one is it pulls more, the attention and the feeling seen, or is it the money?
I feel like they go hand in hand with each other. Like, a lot of the attention helps fuel it, but then you're like, I'm also getting paid and I'm doing something that I'm going to do anyways, so I don't see like what's the difference if I'm filming it.
Okay.
Because like, I don't really know who's watching.
Right.
And I don't really care because I don't see them. But like, if I'm gonna play with myself, I'm gonna play with myself. So why not just film myself do it?
Right. But you know they're watching. So there's a sense of that. Part of it is that you're being seen too.
Yeah, but I'm not really paying attention to that because like I put it out after I've already filmed it.
Right.
So like I'm just not really thinking of it, but then it's like a reward after, you get money.
But
It's like a reward.
But do you see that as, I used to manage a strip club for a while, and I would see girls that like literally their internal state, how they saw themselves was based on how much money they made. Like they literally would get validation. Oh, I made a bunch more money, and they felt better about it. Not just feeling good about making the money. They legitimately felt better about themselves internally because of the validation they got because of all the money they made.
Because look even the direction you're going. If it's not being seen, you're not even paying attention, then that's pure money entrepreneur move. Because that's the same thing goes on with high-powered businessmen. It's like you don't really give a fuck about people seeing you because the game is money, and money becomes the measuring stick. You're on only Sue?
Yeah, I would say for me, 100% money. I'm not interested.
I've asked this question before, and usually women will tell me that they start because of the attention and the validation they get, and then the money starts to accrue, and then they get more money, and then that starts to feed into sort of a new persona for that woman, where it's like it's not just about the attention as much as it is the money. Because
so it's about
now,
the attention and the money's too good to
it's like
turn down.
It's lifestyle creep is what it is.
The main thing I've seen is a girl in her friend group. Several of her friends start doing OF, and so she feels comfortable doing it. Like I'll tell you, my friends: Chloe Teray, Kindly Myers, Lindsay Palos, and Caitlin Runk. All four of them told me at one point I will never be on OF, and all four of them are on OF now. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it just became more comfortable to do it. And by the way, none of them post nudes. It became more comfortable for them to do it over time, and then they felt inclusive in doing it. So I think I think a lot of girls get into it. Also, they have promo codes. So basically, you get downstream income. It's almost like a pyramid scheme. And so girls are recruiting other girls to get on OF.
Well, Instagram has just basically become funnel marketing for women's only. That's right. I mean, if you're on,
I mean, it's
Twitter,
more than that, but yes, that is a big part of it.
Basically, that's what it's driving, is it's driving traffic to your OnlyFans, more or less.